Hi, Tormod here. So, um, during a session I had of kinesiology, a very proof, very safe session that I had, um, I was made aware of a distinct pattern within myself, a pattern that I've been living, a specific fear. So, uh, this was um, this was a specific fear within my mind, within my being, and so on, of me committing suicide. I was made aware of a point within my living, a point being that I was afraid of committing suicide. That was a specific point. Now, if you're alarmed by hearing me talking about this, feel free to breathe, forgive the reaction within. If you want to, you can contact me and we can chat, whatever. Um, I mean, the word suicide and how we live our lives today in this very world. I mean, death and suicide and such related words and issues is not only big business, but it is also a thing that is creeping more and more onto the human experience because we are so much more confronted with ourself and our thought, our mind, and so on. That being said, I still think that it's a controversial topic to talk about. It's not easy to talk about, but I think it's important that we do open up and share these insights because it may save someone's life eventually. And that is some of the point where that I've established this specific fear within me because I have lived and faced and what shall I say, lost so many people within my friends, my foster brother, my fiance, very many individuals before they are retired, before they are old, to put it that way, people committing suicide literally or dying. And this being related to mental issues. So I consider that me being living with schizophrenia, I'm already statistically and by all terms actually in a danger zone. Uh, Statistically and by doctors' terms and so on. But I've lived and faced so many cases, human beings giving up on themselves and committing suicide, that I've accepted and allowed their choice to be sort of valid. I've been validating their point within myself. And this is not easy to talk about because there are so many people who I held dearly who are now gone because of mental issues, really, because of mental problems. And there is, and I say this with 100% certainty, there is to this day not one person on this Mother Earth who does not have mental issues. No one. So, If you're alarmed by me talking about me fearing suicide, then please breathe and let go of the reaction, forgive the reaction. Feel free to contact me, because there is actually, if you can remain grounded, if you can remain grounded and stable within self, it is something very valuable to be able to talk about such a thing. And I'm glad I walked a process. And if I didn't walk a process through my mind with self-forgiveness, with the tools of destiny, I wouldn't be able to be sitting here at all. I mean, I wouldn't be able. I don't think I would have survived so far if it wasn't for the tools provided by Destiny.org. Self-forgiveness in specific, and reaching self-honesty, finding self-honesty. So I have then a specific fear of myself ending my life, myself committing suicide. And I have this specific play out pattern in my thinking, in my whatever metaphysics that it could occur in my mind. I have this specific pattern because I live with schizophrenia, because I know that very often people with schizophrenia don't get very old. I know this. This is proven in not all statistics, either by, you know, they 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 don't have that great length of life expectancy overall. So I've been living also for the last 20 or 25 years. The last 20 or 25 years, I've been living seeing people around me dying, um, committing suicide, ending their lives because of mental issues. And this seeing and this experience, this cultural influence of media, of constant war and suffering everywhere, the things we accept and allow to go on within, first in our very own minds, and then we project this war out to the world, and so you see the result that is playing out, so within, so without. And we're all equally responsible for this. Each and every single one of us. All things we do or don't do matters. So, I've been having a certain specific fear of, what shall I say, being too tolerant over suicide. I've been accepting the fact that some people choose to end their lives. And I've been living with this, what shall I say, terminology, this diagnosis, whatever we call it, so close to me in many levels of my living, of my experience of psychiatry, of addictions, drugs, doctor appointments, going to funerals for friends, and remembering old friends, remembering my brother, remembering my fiance, all these things, um, making me more tolerant, more acceptable to this suicide. So I just want to share with the world my perspective of being now 38 years old and um, being born schizophrenic, still breathing, very grateful for being alive. I would like to live till I'm over 100 years old. That would be very nice. Bitte, thank you very much. That I would like to see me, I would like that. But I see within my corners of my mind and so on, this fear urging within me, trying to manipulate me, trying to fuck with me, this programming within me, trying to fuck me over, trying to drive me into the same faith that so many of my friends have gone into. And that is not cool. That is not acceptable. So I don't accept, I don't want to give in to that programming, that mind construct, that thought process, that fear, that emotions, constantly living the matrix of torment. I don't want that to be the director. I want to be self in physical, be the director. I would like to be in charge. I don't want my mind, my box, my TV, my whatever to be in charge of my living. I want to be in charge of my living as a breathing human being. That is what I would like to see. And I would like to be more than 100 years old. Yes, that would be great. I would love that. Anything. So, like I said, there are solutions to even the worst cases of mental health, mental issues, mental illness. We are walking this on both sides now, both beyond the afterlife and here in real time, physical, in breath on earth. We are walking this process of self-forgiveness that all existences, individuals, and so on go through as I speak. And the tool of self-forgiveness, self-responsibility, self-trust, integrity, self-support, self-acceptance, self-love, all these tools are here to support us through our journey, through our process. If you want links, I'll give you links. Contact me if you like. There are solutions. We have all the freaking answers. There is really no excuse. So this is a prayer for you to listen to snap out of that mental illness, because we are all under the spell of mental illness, of mind consciousness system, to forgive all the energy addictions within, and to be physical, to be breath, to be real, to be genuine, and not stuck in looping around in the head in thoughts, thinking this, thinking that, whatever. That's not living. That's mind. That's a box controlling your ass. That's not living. So, in a way, yes, uh, we already chose mind. We already chose death, but we still have this correction process to be walked here on earth to make this a better place for all, within and without. So this is one of my contributions to see through that change, and to not allow myself to go into those thoughts and those energies, those fears in my mind and so on, and then to go into those fears because what I resist will persist and so on, and stopping it right there, stopping that drive of mind, of the fear, of the thought, of the personality, of the whatever, and slow the fuck down and breathe and be with myself, walk with myself, learn myself to know, forgive myself, because that is the ultimate high, and that is the way that is supportive. That is what all the great masters have told us, talked about. Jesus, Osho, Bailey, Lao Tzu, Bruce Lee. all Mandela, whatever, all the people that have gone before us, Gandhi, if we read their words, if we listen to their talking, to where they come from, also today, if you check out destiny.org, you see these things. Are you ready? The point is, are you ready to become responsible? Are you ready to live? Are you ready to forgive yourself? Because we can have as much assistance and support and guidance we could ever imagine, but the help and the forgiveness must come from within. I've been in psychiatry and hospitals long time enough to know that I can have support and assistance, lots of it. I might need it sometimes, but the help and the forgiveness comes from within. And that is what I intend to do, and that is what I've been doing, to forgive this fear, to forgive this construct of programming, of whatever matrix terminology you might use, Orwellian mind, fuck up, whatever, to come clean with myself, to stop this fear within myself, and to live, to honor life. What does it mean to honor life? Good question. Because I want to make something out of my living. I want to have a purpose, and I have a purpose to live this and to help people suffering. If you're out there suffering from whatever mental burden or diagnosis or illness or addictions, whatever, feel free to drop me a line in the comments. Contact me. We can communicate. Let's turn the tides. Let's change it all.